The text arrived at 6:17 p.m. on a Tuesday in early November, while I was standing at my kitchen counter, slicing a pear for my dinner. "Hey, Mom, quick heads up. We're keeping Christmas small this year, just the four of us. Lila and Brennan need a quieter holiday after everything with school and Whitney's work stuff. Hope you understand. Love you." I set the paring knife down. I read the message twice, then a third time. Just the four of us. There are four of them, of course. My son Roman, his wife Whitney, my granddaughter Lila, 14, my grandson Brennan, 11. And there is one of me. I had been the fifth person at their Christmas table for 9 years, since my husband Asher died, and Roman had said, in a moment of grief, that I had foolishly mistaken for an arrangement. "Mom, Christmas is at our house now. Always. You come to us." I had said yes. I had handed over the wreath, the carols, the ham recipe, the linen tablecloth my mother had given me in 1976. I had become, for 9 Christmases in a row, the woman who arrived at her son's house at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve, with a wrapped present for each grandchild and a brown paper bag of homemade gingerbread for the kitchen. I had also been, for 9 Christmases in a row, the woman who paid for Christmas. Not all of it, not officially, but the way money moves in families is rarely official. Each year, sometime in early November, Roman would call me with a list of things we could really use help with this year. "Mom." The list grew. The list was the children's expensive private school holiday recital outfits, then the catering, then the new dining room chairs, because the old ones were embarrassing. Then last year, the trip to Whitney's parents' cabin in Colorado for the kids' first real ski Christmas, Mom, and we just can't swing it ourselves. Last year, between the ski trip, the catering, and the gifts I had wrapped in my own living room, I had spent $11,400 on a Christmas I had attended for 90 minutes before Whitney's mother arrived, and the seating chart shifted me to the kitchen island. I had laughed. I had laughed and laughed. I picked up my phone. I looked at the text from Roman. "Hope you understand." I did, in fact, understand. I understood with a clarity that had taken me 68 years to develop and 9 Christmases to ripen. The text was not informing me that I was uninvited. The text was a pre-negotiation. The text was Roman gently establishing, in writing, that this year was going to be small, so that when he called me next week with the list, the catering, the recital outfits, the something the kids really need, I would not feel entitled to attend the small thing I was funding. He was not telling me I was not invited. He was telling me I was not invited, and he was about to ask me to pay anyway. I picked up the paring knife. I finished slicing the pear. I ate it at my kitchen table by the window. The slice was perfect. The pear was a commis, ripe to the moment, the kind I had been buying from the Saturday market for 22 years. I did not text Roman back. I waited. It is one of the small pieces of wisdom no one tells you about getting older. The moment you stop responding immediately to manipulations, the manipulations begin to make themselves visible. Roman called me at 8:14 p.m. that night. I let it go to voicemail. "Mom, hi. Just wanted to make sure you got my text. Listen, about Christmas. I didn't want it to come across the wrong way. Whitney and I have just been talking, and we think this year we want to keep it really intimate, just the kids and us, give them a calm holiday. But of course we'd love to have you over for, like, an early Christmas dinner the week before. How does the 15th sound? Anyway, also give me a call back. There's a couple of things I wanted to run by you for the kids this year. Love you." There it was. A couple of things I wanted to run by you for the kids this year. The early Christmas dinner on the 15th was the costume of inclusion. The phone call was the bill. I did not call back. He called again on Wednesday at 11:23 a.m. He called again on Thursday at 4:48 p.m. He left 2 more voicemails, each one slightly more urgent, each one wrapping the financial request inside a thicker layer of just wanted to check in. I did not call back. I sat with the silence, and I thought about Asher. Asher had been dead 9 years that December. He had been my husband for 41. He had been a tax attorney who had spent his career untangling the small, careful frauds rich families perform on each other usually. He said at our kitchen table over decades of weeknight dinners, the kind where one elderly relative is being gradually emptied of her checking account by a polite adult child. He had said, in 2014, the year before he was diagnosed, Eleanor, if something happens to me and Roman starts asking you for things, I want you to remember a sentence. I want you to remember, the answer is no until you have been asked properly. And asking properly means being told the full amount in advance, and being seated at the table the money pays for. I had laughed at him. I had said, Asher, Roman is our son. He would not do that. Asher had said, Eleanor, every elderly woman in my files said that sentence about her son before her son did exactly that. I had stopped laughing. He had said, promise me. I had promised. I had broken the promise 9 times, once for each Christmas after he died. I was not going to break it a 10th time. On Friday morning, I made a list. The list was on a yellow legal pad at my kitchen table. The list was titled 9 years. Under it, I wrote, 2015 first Christmas after Asher. Ham, gifts, $1,200 for travel reimbursement. Roman never used. Seated at table. 2016 gifts. $2,400 for Brennan's nursery setup since the baby is coming in February. Seated at table. 2017 gifts. $3,100 for Lila's preschool deposit and Christmas catering. Mom, you'd love the place we're using. Seated at table near the kitchen door. 2018 gifts. $4,200 for the new dining room chairs. We want them in place before Whitney's family flies in. Seated at the kitchen island for dessert. Whitney's mother seated where I had been. 2019 gifts. $4,800 for the recital outfits for the school's holiday performance. The kids look so beautiful. You should see them. I did not see them. The performance was scheduled for the day before I arrived. The video was sent to me on January 7th. 2020 gifts. $5,200 for Whitney's catering business launch dinner, which is technically a Christmas event but also a soft opening for her clients. Seated in the den with the children while the clients ate in the dining room. 2021 gifts. $6,500 for the trip Whitney's family booked to Lake Tahoe over the holidays. And we'd love to bring the kids, but it's expensive, Mom. Would you be willing to chip in? I was not invited to Tahoe. I spent Christmas Eve alone in my house and was sent a thank you photo on December 28th. 2022 gifts. $8,100 for Brennan's specialist appointments, the kids' winter wardrobe, and the holiday open house we're hosting for Whitney's clients, seated at the small folding table in the corner of the dining room. 2023 gifts. $11,400 for the ski Christmas. Mom, the kid's first real one. Attended 90 minutes. Seated at the kitchen island after Whitney's mother arrived. Ate cheese and crackers. Drove home at 6:30 p.m. I added the totals. 9 years. $46,900 in help. Approximately $14,000 more in gifts. $61,000 I had given my son and his wife, on top of the holiday itself, for a Christmas that had quietly moved me over the course of those 9 years, from the head of the table to the kitchen island, to the folding table in the corner, to this year, the small Christmas to which I was not invited at all. I looked at the legal pad for a long moment. Then I tore the page out, folded it twice, and put it in the brown leather folder Asher had labeled House in his careful handwriting in 1995. The folder where I kept the deed, the will, the trust documents, and now a single yellow page. That was the receipt for 9 years of being made smaller. I closed the folder. I made a fresh cup of coffee. I sat at my window. The maple outside my window had gone, the orange it always went in November. Asher had loved that tree. Roman called again on Friday afternoon at 5:17 p.m. This time, I picked up. Hi, sweetheart. Mom, I'm so glad I caught you. Listen, I've been trying to reach you all week about Christmas and about a couple of other things. Yes, sweetheart, I imagine you have. There was a small pause. Mom, are you okay? I am perfectly okay, Roman. Tell me what the couple of other things are. Another pause. He had not expected me to skip the small talk. Small talk was the runway. Without it, the proposition had to land cold. Well, okay, so listen. Whitney and I have been talking about the recital outfits this year. Lila has a solo, and Brennan is in the choir, and the school changed the dress code. So the kids need new pieces from this specific place in the city, and Mom, we can't really swing it. It's about 4,000. We were hoping. Roman. Yes? Is the recital part of the small Christmas, or is the recital separate from the small Christmas? A pause. It's Mom, it's separate. The recital is on the 18th. And am I invited to the recital? A longer pause. Mom, of course you are. Of course. Roman, sweetheart, I am going to ask you that question one more time. And I would like you to answer it not the way you wish you could answer it, but the way the situation in your house actually permits you to answer it. He did not speak. Roman, is Whitney's mother going to be at the recital? Yes. Is Whitney's mother going to be seated with the family in the reserved section? Yes. How many seats are in the reserved section? A very long pause. 6. 6. Whitney, you, Lila, Brennan, Whitney's mother and Whitney's father. 6. And me. Mum, there's general admission. It's a big auditorium. Mum, you'd be in row 11 or 12, but you would still see Roman. Yes. I am not going to pay $4,000 for 2 outfits. I will be watching from row 11. He started to speak. I waited. Mom, this isn't about the seats. Roman. Yes. It is exactly about the seats. The recital outfits are the seats. The catering is the seats. The ski trip was the seats. For 9 years, you have been asking me to pay for seats, and for 9 years, you have been moving me out of them. This year, you skipped the choreography and just told me I was not invited to Christmas before asking me to fund it. I appreciate the efficiency, sweetheart, but the efficiency revealed something I had been allowing myself not to see. He was breathing hard on the other end. Mom, please. Please don't make this into something bigger than… Roman, I am going to tell you what is going to happen this year, and I am going to tell you once. I am keeping my checkbook closed. There is no recital outfit money. There is no catering money. There is no Christmas open house money. There will be no early Christmas dinner on the 15th. There will be no late Christmas drop-by on the 27th. There will be no Christmas Eve phone call with the children, although I will pick up if either of them calls me on their own. Do you understand what I am saying? A long silence. Mom, you're not coming to Christmas. Roman, I was not invited to Christmas. You told me on Tuesday that Christmas was being kept small. I am simply matching the smallness with my own checkbook. I am the small I have always been to you. I am behaving like it for the first time. Mom, yes. What about the kids? The kids will receive their Christmas gifts from me as they have always received them directly, by mail, wrapped with a note. They will receive what they have always received. What they will not receive this year is the cost of the holiday itself, which I have been quietly paying for since their grandfather died. They will live, Roman. Children of parents who can afford to spend $4,000 on recital outfits at a specific place in the city can afford a regular Christmas. Mum, we can't. Then have a smaller Christmas, sweetheart, the kind you have been describing in your text messages all week. He did not respond for a long moment. Then, quietly, Mum, I'm sorry. I noticed he had said, I'm sorry. I noticed he had not said, "I'm sorry for what?" Roman, yes. That apology is in the wrong order. Try again when you can put it in the right one. I hung up. I did not hear from Roman for 9 days. On Sunday the 17th, 2 days before the recital, Whitney called me. I had not heard Whitney's voice on the phone since 2019. I let it go to voicemail. Eleanor, hi. Listen, Roman has been a mess this week, and I just want to talk to you, woman to woman. I think there's been a misunderstanding about Christmas and about the recital. The kids really want you there. Lila has been asking. Could you please call me back so we can sort this out before the 18th? I think we can all be reasonable adults about this. I noticed she had said woman to woman. I noticed she had said the kids really want you there, which she had not said in 9 years of moving me to the kitchen island. I noticed she had used the word reasonable about a conversation she had not been willing to have in any of the previous 9 Christmases. I deleted the voicemail. That night, Lila, my 14-year-old granddaughter, texted me from her own phone. Grandma, Mom and Dad don't know I'm texting you. Are you coming to my recital? I have a solo. I sat with my phone for a long time. Then I wrote, Sweet Pea, I love you. I am not coming to the recital on the 18th because the arrangements your mother has made do not have a seat for me with the family. I am not angry with you. None of this is your fault. But I am not going to sit in row 11 of an auditorium to watch you sing while another grandmother sits in the family section. Do you understand? A long pause. Then, yes, Grandma, I knew. I asked Mum yesterday. She said you were busy. I closed my eyes. I wrote, Sweet Pea, I want to make you a different offer. On the morning of the 19th, after your recital, I will come to your house. I will bring lemon scones and hot chocolate. You and I will sit at your kitchen table. You will sing your solo for me. Just for me. I will be the only audience. That is the recital I am coming to. Another long pause. Grandma, that would be the best. Then it is a date, Sweet Pea. Grandma, can Brennan come too? Of course he can. Brennan can come. Your parents are welcome to be in the house. They are not invited to the kitchen table. The kitchen table is for the 3 of us. Is that clear? Yes, Grandma. Crystal clear. I put the phone down. I did not cry. I made a cup of tea. I sat with it for a long time. On the morning of the 18th, the day of the recital, Roman called me one more time. I picked up. Mom. Roman. Mom. I just wanted to say, the kids are sad. I am sad. Whitney is. Whitney is angry, but I think underneath that she's also sad. I don't know how to fix this. Sweetheart, you don't fix it, you sit with it. Mom. Roman. I am going to tell you the rules for the rest of this year, and the rest of next year, and however long this takes. Are you listening? Yes. You will not ask me for money for the children's needs. If the children need something, actually need something, not need a $4,000 outfit from a specific place in the city, you may tell me, and I will decide on a case-by-case basis. You will not invoice me for Christmas. You will not invoice me for Easter. You will not invoice me for birthdays. The children will receive what they have always received from me, direct gifts, mailed, wrapped, with a card. The supplementary funding of your household stops today. You will not ask me to attend events from which you have positioned me out of the family seating. If Whitney's mother is in the family row, I am not in the family row, which means I am not at the event. Do not ask. Do not phrase it as an option. You and I will have lunch the first Sunday of every month at my house. I will cook. You will come alone, not with Whitney, not with the children. We will eat. We will talk. We will not discuss money. We will discuss your week and my week and what we are reading and what is in the garden. If you can sustain those lunches for 12 months, then in January of next year, we will revisit what your family's presence in my life looks like. Until then, that lunch is the relationship. He was quiet for a long moment. Mom, yes. That's harder than just being angry at me. Yes, Roman. It is. That is the point. Mom, I'll do it. Sweetheart, don't tell me. Show me. The first Sunday of December is the 3rd. I will expect you at noon. If you come, the relationship continues. If you do not, we will reassess again. I will be there. Good. Now go to your daughter's recital. Tell her her grandmother said, break a leg, and that I am coming to her kitchen tomorrow morning for the real performance. Mom, yes. I love you. I love you too, Roman. That is exactly why this is the conversation we are having. I hung up. The next morning at 10 a.m., I arrived at Roman and Whitney's house with a box of lemon scones from the bakery on Linden Avenue and a thermos of hot chocolate I had made at home with real milk and a small block of dark Belgian chocolate. I had been saving in my pantry for a moment I had not known I was waiting for. Roman opened the door. He had not shaved. He let me in without speaking and gestured toward the kitchen. Lila was already at the kitchen table in her recital dress. Brennan was beside her in a hoodie. They had set 3 places. They had set out plates. Whitney was in the living room. I could hear her on the phone to her mother, I assumed. She did not come into the kitchen. I sat down. I poured hot chocolate for the 3 of us. I opened the scones. Sweet pea, whenever you're ready. Lila stood up beside the kitchen table. She sang her solo. It was a section of "O Holy Night," the verse that begins "Fall on your knees," the verse that asks the listener to stop standing for a moment. Lila's voice was small and bright and not yet fully formed, the way 14-year-old voices are when they are still learning what they will eventually be. She sang it, standing in her stocking feet on a kitchen tile that I had stood on the day Whitney and Roman had brought her home from the hospital, and I had held her. 8 pounds, 2 ounces, and Roman had cried. When she finished, Brennan clapped. I clapped. From the living room, Whitney did not clap. The phone call had stopped. There was a long silence from the other side of the wall. I did not turn to look toward the living room. I did not need to. Sometimes the people who are not clapping are listening anyway, and what they are hearing is the sound of a room they have chosen not to enter. Sweet pea. That was the best recital I have ever attended in my life. She beamed. We ate scones. We drank hot chocolate. Brennan told me about a video game. Lila told me about a boy in her class who wore mismatched socks on purpose. We did not discuss Christmas. We did not discuss money. We did not discuss the auditorium. At 11:14, I stood up. Sweet pea. Brennan. I am going home. I will see you both on Christmas morning if your parents permit it, but if not, I will see you both whenever your parents permit it. You both know my address. You both have my phone number. The door at my house is always open to either of you, on your own terms, on your own time. You do not need permission to call your grandmother. They nodded. Lila hugged me at the door. Brennan hugged me harder than I expected. As I left, Roman walked me to the car. He did not speak for the whole walk down the driveway. At the car door, he said, Mom. Yes. Sunday, December 3rd, noon. Yes, sweetheart. I'll be there. I will believe it on December 3rd, Roman, not before. He nodded. He stepped back. I got in the car. I drove home. I did not have a small Christmas. I did not have a big Christmas. I had no Christmas at all, at least not the kind I had been performing for 9 years. On December 24th, I cooked a small roast chicken in my own kitchen. I drank a single glass of Asher's Old Burgundy from a bottle he had bought in 2012, and which I had been saving for an occasion I had not known how to name. I ate the chicken at my own kitchen table, in the chair I had been sitting in alone for 9 December 24ths, in a house in which I was, for the first time in 9 years, not pretending to be someone else's Christmas decoration. On Christmas morning, I called Lila. She had wanted me to. I had said, only if your parents permit it. Whitney had, at the last moment, permitted it. Lila told me about her stocking. I told her about my chicken. She laughed at me. She said, "Grandma, you ate chicken on Christmas?" I said, "Sweet pea." I ate a chicken I had chosen, in a chair I had chosen, with a glass of wine I had chosen. That is the Christmas I have been wanting for 9 years. I am sorry it took me this long to figure that out. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Grandma, I think I get it. Sweet pea, I know you do. You are the only one in that house who already gets it. That is why I sing to you in kitchens." She laughed. We talked for 30 more minutes. Then she had to go because Whitney's mother had arrived. We hung up. That night, I sat at my kitchen table with the small notebook I had started keeping the morning. Roman texted me about the small Christmas, and I wrote one line. He said we were keeping it small this year. So I kept my checkbook closed, kept my kitchen open to my grandchildren, and learned for the first time in 9 years what my own Christmas day tasted like. Then I closed the notebook, and I drank what was left of Asher's burgundy, and I slept the way a woman sleeps when she has finally stopped buying her way into a holiday she had stopped being welcome at, and started at 68, in her own kitchen, in her own chair, with a chicken she had chosen having the Christmas her late husband had been telling her she deserved.